that's not for everyone, so please just go to sitting position instead to start, okay? And we'll get ourselves going. Any questions or comments? Ready to roll? Okay, I'm going to move the ball and the band off of my mat here to begin with. And I'm coming into a position, as I said, that's kneeling, where I have room in front of me on my mat. So if you're sitting on your bottom, it's no problem. You can just switch to being forward facing like this once you're ready. All right. So coming into a few breaths with arm sweeps to begin with. And so we're taking the arms into a reach up overhead. Inhale. Take those hands back out to the sides. Exhale. Inhale, reach up again. And exhale out. Just continue with that. A couple more rounds here. Big breath in, big breath out. Good. Now bring those palms together. And we're going to do this little diagonal motion with the arms. And so one arm reaches out and up at an angle, and the other one comes at a bottom angle. And then bring those palms together in front. And then we're going to do the other side. Now, actually, I'm going to turn to the front so you can see me a little better on this one. But I'm going to angle the body a little bit as I do that. Reach and then come in. And so inhale and then exhale. Good. So just carrying on with that. A couple rounds here each side. Let's do one more each way. Good. Now bring those hands together in front, interlace those fingers and push forward, rounding the back. Give it a hold stretch for just a moment. Good. Take those hands up into a reach. Big breath in here at the top, and then release those arms down. A couple shoulder rolls around to the back. Good, and then we're going to get on the move here onto the hands and knees. So this is where you can switch if you're sitting on your bottom. Come forward. And then right away, we're flowing here with breath in cat-cow pose. So inhale into your cow pose, and then exhale, curl and round into cat. Go at your own pace here. Getting the spine moving. And then come to center position or neutral spine, and then we're going to take it into some side leans. We take both feet over to the left, lean the upper body to the left at the same time. And then over to the right with the feet and shoulders. And let's breathe in here. And then you can exhale when you go over to the left again. So you're going through those side shifts with the breath. It gives you some pacing direction here. There, and then from there back to center. Take your left leg into a reach back, lifting up, look ahead, inhale. And on your exhale, take that left knee underneath the body, curling the spine, forehead towards the knee. Take it back again, inhale, the back arch slightly, and exhale, knee under. Inhale back, exhale under. Good, and then take this left leg back, breathing in, and as you exhale, this time lower the foot to the ground, toes tucked under. On your next breath in, take your right arm into a reach up towards the ceiling, so you're rotating the body. And then exhale, release that right hand back down. So turning open to the right, inhale, reach, and exhale down. And a couple more times. There, now let's start to switch that around. Bring that left leg in. When you're ready, take that right leg back. And then from there, take a breath in with a little bit of arch through the back. Exhale, tuck the knee underneath. Inhale and exhale. Couple more. And as you exhale this time, the foot travels down to the floor, getting ready for our rotations, breathing in, sweeping the left arm up and open. And exhale it down. That's it. Here we go, one more time. And release. Nice, step the foot or knee in. And we sit back into child's pose, bum towards those heels. And let's take a little rest off the hands as we lower upper body down, maybe turn the palms up across those arms. And just finding the breath here, a few rounds. Alrighty, let's start to rise up. And we're coming all the way up to high kneeling here. If your knees are sensitive, you could quickly fold your mat or put something under the kneecaps. And let's take the right foot into a step ahead. If you need a little bit of hand balance as you do that, take your time. And we're going to do some sideways turning of the body here. So I've got my right hand positioned specifically to the inside edge of that right knee. And then with the left arm, it's going to sweep out, and we're going to turn our body to rotate looking back, and we're going to press into the right knee there, and then release it back to front. And we're going to breathe with that. So inhale, open, and exhale as you sweep forward. That's it. Now we're going to come into the rotation motion here, reaching back and pause, and then holding this position with that left arm, we're going to start to take it up. Palm will face in towards you, and start to lean towards your right knee, maybe bringing the elbow down to the knee. So there's a bit of a rotational side stretch here. That's it. And release out. Very nice job. Let's switch that around. Take your time. We'll get that left foot stepping forward. Not in a lunge. We're upright from the knee line there. Get that left hand pressing gently to the inside of that left knee and open it up, reaching back with the right. That's the inhale. When you release forward, we come through the exhale. Coming together into the open position with the hold, and then trying out that slow reach up and lean over towards the left knee. Stay for another breath here. And coming out of that, we can bring that foot back. Take your hands into a position where you walk them forward a little bit more and shift the hips forward, and we're in our kneeling plank posture. Take a breath in here. And on your exhale, that's when we're lowering the body to the ground with control. Stretch out those legs, get the tops of the feet down on the ground, and then let's do some moving cobras. Inhale into the lift up, and then exhale as you lower. And you can make these mini cobras if you like, just little back arches to get warmed up here. That's it. Stretch those legs back as you lift up. And one more time like that. And then right away, we're on the move. Push down into the ground through those hands. Lift the whole body up. Shift the hips back. Little momentary pause in child's pose. And then from there, rise through the hips, tuck the toes under, and we're in our downward dog. And you can get yourself into down dog in a way that feels gentle and warming up here. Maybe some little presses with the heels. Now we're going to make our way to a forward fold. So we're going to look forward and get our feet one at a time, stepping towards the hands. You can keep your knees bent. And then just a nice slow rise to stand there. Take your time. That's it. Okay. And we'll make our way up to the tops of our mat with a neutral stance with those feet in their spacing there. And find your mountain pose with the posture lifted. Open across the shoulders and chest area, palms facing forward. Kind of do a little wiggle about through the feet, just kind of sense the perimeter of the foot, maybe lift all 10 toes, a little space between the toes and let them land down again. And then let's come into our upward salute with a reach. So we're going inhaling through that reach up. And then an exhale, we're going to come into a forward fold, and do feel free to bend those knees lightly. Now let's do a half bend. So hands to knees, inhale and rise through the chest. And exhale, come into a forward fold all the way to hands to floor. Step back into your plank. Good. And on your next breath in, you could lower the knees to the ground. And you're going to exhale with that lower all the way to the floor here. Elbows pointing back. Grounding. On your next breath in, cobra lift. And exhale, begin to shift the hips back and get ready for a downward dog. Step those feet into position. You can gaze towards them. Release through the neck. Take a couple breaths. Little bend in the knees. Lift those heels. Look ahead. We're getting the feet towards the hands. Breathing in, we'll do another half bend. So inhale, chest rises up. And an exhale, floating and hanging down. Now we come to stand. Inhale, sweep, and reach all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, release your arms to your sides. And right away, flowing into that upward salute on your next breath in. And taking your forward fold here on your exhale. Take your time. All the air out. Half lift. Then exhale into plank position. Breathing in, knees touch down. Exhale, lower the body, slow control, descent here. Good. Get ready for cobra lift on that inhale. And exhale, begin that shift back, finding your downward dog or child's pose if you prefer. Nice alternative when we get here. Okay, so when we step those feet to the hands, some of you might like to add hops with the feet. You're welcome to do that. Back to our half lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Rising to stand, sweep the arms up. Breathe it in. And exhale, hands down. And let's do that through another time. One more. Inhale up. Exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, feet back for plank. You can stay here or on your inhale, lowering knees. And exhale, Taking the body down to the ground. Inhale, cobra. Shift it back, downward dog. Okay, we're going to come into a step forward now with our right foot. So when you're ready, pick up that right foot and try to get it stepping really far ahead to between the hands. And with your back left foot, we want to turn it out a touch with the heel down. So warrior one stance and then rising up. Take your time coming to that lifted position here. And then we're going to get sweeping the arms up and down. So take both arms to a reach up and breathe in. And then exhale, we're taking the arms down and we're leaning the body at like an angle and sweep those arms behind. Good. Inhale up. Now I'm keeping my front knee bent the whole time as I move through this. There, now let's come together into the reach up and pause. And then we're going to turn that left foot out a little and let our bodies rotate towards the left side. So we're more like towards like a warrior two body posturing. And then with the left hand, we're letting it float down to reach back to that back left leg. So finding that reverse warrior position here. Good. And then let's come into side angle pose. So we're now leaning towards the front knee, bring the elbow down. Yeah. And then the other arm reaching up and over there. And let's come through our reverse warrior here. Let's come back up and this time straighten out that right leg and reach through the arm there just for a moment. And then we're going to come through T position with the arms and go into triangle. So again, keeping that front leg straight as you lean towards it, or straighter. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. There, I think everybody generally got that there. Yeah. There, now we're going to transition. We're going to just stay where we are, but start to bend that front knee. So right knee, turn your body towards it. See if you can lean down enough that you can get the fingertips to the ground. Spin the back leg so that the heel lifts up and you're in a proper lunged position. And then slowly with control, let the back knee touch down. You could even untuck the toes there so the foot's flat. And then the left hand comes down to the mat, or if you needed a block under it, you could do that too. Start to turn your body towards your right knee and then reach that right arm up. And we're back into that rotation here with a lunge. There, and then from there, what we're doing is releasing that arm down, step that right foot back and find puppy pose. So hips stay above the knee line, reach forward and drop the chest down. Take one more breath here. Lovely. Start to help yourself up. Maybe slide those hands in a little bit, but shift the body forward through your kneeling plank again. Breathe in and exhale, lower the body down. Legs long, take a cobra lift. Inhale. Exhale, pick up the hips, shift back, downward dog. Gaze back to the feet. Take another breath here. Getting ready for a step forward with the left foot this time. Between the hands, warrior one stance to start, and slowly rise up when you're ready. There. So let's just float through that reach and lean again. Inhale up with the arms. Exhale, body lean, sweep back. That's it. Keep that back leg straight, strong, and heel grounded. Keep the posturing of that front left knee in good alignment. Okay, Nice. Now we finish with the reach up. Come here. And then what we're doing is turning our body to the right. Maybe spin out that right foot a bit as you go. And then the right arm sweeps down, reaches back to that leg. And we're in our reverse warrior pose here. Just anything that feels off. And then let's go into side angle. So we're bringing that left elbow down to the knee, reaching up and over through the right. And on your next breath in, we're coming back up, reverse it, and straighten out that left leg. And on your exhale, through T position with the arms, windmilling down towards your triangle. And just stay for a breath. Time to move to our lunge again. So start to bend that front leg, turn towards the knee, hands to the ground, spin that back heel up, adjust the feet if you need. Knee touches down when you're ready. And then we go into that rotation where we turn towards the left knee, and I'm reaching the left arm up here. That's it, good. Hand down, we'll do the same, stepping back, same pattern here, puppy pose. Let the heart melt towards the ground here for a moment. And then we rise up, slide the hands in just a touch, and then kind of roll forward into that plank position. Breathe in and exhale, lower down. Into your pattern, inhale, cobra. And exhale, shift hips back, downward dog. Take 2 breaths. Bend those knees, look ahead, hop or step the feet to the hands. We'll do a little half lift up here, breathing in, rise to that chest. Exhale, fold and hang. And we're finishing this up with our sweep up to stand. Inhale and release. And then we're just gonna hang out for a little moment, take a mini break here, so we can start to transition into some other stuff. Grab a sip of water if you need. Now, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the class, there will be a couple things where I'd like to use the wall today. I think everybody I'm teaching has access to a wall for these moves. So, okay, we're going to go into the elastic band exercises next. So we're going to be incorporating some arm strengthening with the yoga poses through the base here. And our very first one is going to be wide stance with the feet turned out. We're going to be going into that goddess pose bend. And we're going to go with the one where we have our arms outstretched in front, nice wide spacing with the hands. As you take your bend in the knees, you're going to try to pull those arms out and open, and then back through with the release. And you could be breathing with this one. It might be nice actually to do the exhale on the down here, and then inhale when you come up. At any time in the class that it feels like it's helpful, you could also transition into Pilates style breathing, which is in through the nose, and then it's out through the mouth through pursed lips, specifically like a. That's something. Sometimes it helps with the feeling of the core getting a little bit more engaged. Let's do one more like that. And release those arms for a little break. We're going to just stay with our footing so that we can transition into turning that left foot forward and the right foot out a little bit more. And then coming into your bend into that right knee there. And then we're going to take both those arms straight up again here. So we're in that position now. You can keep the right arm up solid as an anchor, and the left arm's going to do a little bend to the side. Notice I pulled my elbow to my side. and then back up. And so you might need to keep those hands slightly in front of the head so you don't land on your head as you pull down. Inhale up and exhale. Take breaks at any time you need. Sometimes it's the legs that get tired too from the holding of the yoga pose. Good, and a couple last ones on this side. There. Now, before we go into side two, let's just take a little moment to switch things around. Bring those feet to point straight ahead. Take that elastic band to hold it behind your back with a good spacing between the hands. And we're going to come into a forward fold with the option of stretching through the shoulders. So I'm bending into my fold, maybe a little wee knee bend, couldn't hurt here. Letting the body descend down and then the hands reaching up to the ceiling. That could be optional, of course, if you don't feel like taking in that shoulder stretch, you could just lean without. If you are trying the shoulder stretch, maybe let the head drop downwards, helps to not strain in the neck. Yeah, and then ease out of that stretch with the arms and then slowly lift. Good. If you need to step in for a moment, take it. Otherwise, we are moving. Okay, let's switch. Left foot out. Bend into that left knee. When you feel ready, you can come up with the arms. Okay, strong left arm staying up. Right arm doing its bending. Elbow pulls to the side ribs there. That looks good. That's it. Inhale on the up if you can. Exhale down. Good, last couple. Yeah, I think that went well, perfect. Release, step it in now. Legs and shoulders a little wiggle out for a moment. Okay, so let's see here. With this next one, I got to try to get my lefts and rights correct. So if you want to mirror me here, so if you could be holding in your left hand and then step onto the band with the left foot. Okay, so same hand, same foot. And then a little bend into this left leg. And notice I'm positioning my right leg a little bit behind me. Now, get into the hold of this band at the end, like you're kind of gathering like a little wad of that elastic into the palm, and get the tail end coming out down through that pinky side of the fist, thumb pointing up. And what we're going to be doing is a bicep curl. So it's just bending at the elbow. So check your length to see if the tension's good. And then if you want to leave it just as is, you can. I'm going to complicate things, of course. I'm going to now bend the back leg as I do with my arm curl. So I'm actually balancing. I'm bending and then tapping down. So you really have to center yourself over that left foot. Totally optional, like I said, to add the leg lift here. There's lots to be thinking about, so we don't want to overdo things with challenging the brain. It's early in the morning. Good. Now, my only problem is I've lost count. So I wanted to get at least 10. That's always our goal. But ultimately, when we lose count, it's just going until you feel like, oh yeah, I can feel something into those arm muscles there. I'm going to do a last couple. Good, that's it. Well, you gave that a try. Saw some of you doing the leg business at the same time. Excellent. Okay, so let's go into that second side. Step on it with the right. Holding in the right hand. Adjust that positioning with how you hold the end of that elastic. Put all your weight into this standing leg. Back leg is just kind of stepped behind. And just get that tension right, first of all, with your bicep curl. So bending and straightening the arm and make sure it feels good for tension. And then if you want to add that second piece when you do the bending, you can bend the back leg the left leg, the opposite one. That's it. Good. Good. Go for your last 2 or 3 here, whatever you need to finish up. There. And then shake it out a little. Okay, so we have the opposite arm muscle working now. So that was your bicep, right? A little wee one in the front. And now the back of the arm, the tricep, one of our familiar ones that we do quite a bit in this class, is we stand at the back of the mat. The tail of the elastic is pointing forward. I'm holding in my right hand. And then I'm going to step on that little end of the elastic with the right foot and then step forward with the left so that it looks like a little small warrior one lunge. And then I do this little MacGyver move where I take that right arm up into this position where I am trying to hold that band behind the head. And then I'm going to do that little stretch up through the arm and then bend the elbow again and press up and bend. Now, sometimes with this one, it feels like wobbly or off, and you could do both arms at the same time. I've taught that in the past if that felt more stable or helpful. The other part of this that can be challenging or problematic, I should say, is the length of your band or tension. If it just feels too tight to have this full stretch all the way down to the ground, that can make this a little off. So do what you can with it. Hopefully we're feeling those triceps. I'm going to finish up my last couple presses here. Yeah, I know some of you are done. I kind of got talking. All right, hopefully that all made sense, and we're switching to side 2. Left foot on the band, step forward with the right. Make sure you got a good grounding feel through that back foot, so you're holding tight onto that band. And we get our arm press, left arm pressing up. If you want to get the breathing pattern a specific way here, I usually do the exhale on the press up. And then inhale as I bend the elbow. Really what we're looking for when we're taking, doing any kind of resistance strengthening is breathing out on the effort or the more effortful phase of the motion. So do enough that this left little tricep is feeling something there, back of the arm. Hopefully you can connect to that. Do a few more, certainly no hurry. And then once you feel that side's done, let's let go of those bands, grab a sip of water if you need it, and then we're going to be switching things around. I'm going to adjust my camera because I'm going to use the ball on the wall for the next one. Finally getting into our ball work. Yeah, okay. So this first one, some of you might remember, you'll need that cleared wall, just a little patch, doesn't need to be wide, where you can get the ball behind your back. I like to position the ball not in that lowest part of the spine, like more around the thoracic spine. So a little higher up, closer towards like the middle of the back there. Okay, so we're going to try to do a lunge, and this can be a little bit harder than the basic squat. So if anybody has knee problems or it's just not working for you in some way, then come into like a basic squat instead, okay? So what I'm going to do is step forward with the left foot and then step back with the right. And you want to make sure you're not on a too narrow of a stance here, where you want to have good spacing left and right with your feet. Notice my back right heel, if you can see it, is lifted. And I'm keeping the weight of my upper body back towards the ball. And then I'm going to try to bend both legs with the one knee dropping down towards the ground, but not necessarily touching. Like, I'm not going that low. If it doesn't feel right, play around with your spacing and adjust your feet. Good. Let's see if we can just finish up another couple repetitions on this side. And then step out and take a break. You might even just kind of lean into the ball for a moment. Let's do the other side now. Step back with the left or right foot. Needs to come a little bit further ahead, right? That's important too. I had a little, I think, internet blip or something going on here. I heard some weird noises. I did lose someone online. It might be my neighborhood. I don't know what's going on. But just a little note, if anything goes wrong, I am recording this class. So hopefully I can stay online here. Good. Okay. I'm hoping everybody's feeling like you can feel those leg muscles, but what we really want is just keep those knees safe. All right. Remember your alternatives. Keep the range of motion small if you need. Good. And again, just finishing this up, one or two more for yourself. And we can step out. Just stay here for another moment. Okay, let's see if we can go into what we'd consider warrior two pose with the ball still behind our back. And what's going to be weird about this is that it's really going to square the body in its posturing. So the first step is to step your feet wide. Make sure you maintain a little bit of pressure towards the ball. And then, well, let's spin out. I've got my left foot turning out first with the left knee following it into a bit of a knee bend. That right foot might turn in a little, keeping the shoulder blades connected back. That's it. Tail tucked under a little. Reach out with those arms, turn the head to look over the left fingers. And let's see if we can go into side angle pose, maintaining the connection of the upper back towards the ball. So just maybe bring the left hand to the knee and the right hand overhead, reaching, and think about that right shoulder blade drawing back towards the ball. Yeah, and so this can teach us our frame of really being in that sideways orientation for this one. And ease out. We won't hold too long. And we're going to just do that really quickly now. Second side. Adjust. Right foot out, toed in a touch maybe through the left, bend that right knee, warrior two to begin with. Gaze over the right hand, take in a couple breaths. And then see if you can do that little transition without losing your ball. Keep that connection back, left arm reaching, right hand down. Sure. Ease up and out. And we're gonna, once we get those feet in, move away from that, letting our balls now go down to the lower level there against the wall, to the ground. And then let's turn to face our balls with our hands placed at least shoulder width apart, kind of almost off to the angles on the side of the ball. Nice wide fingers. And then begin to step back with your feet and think downward dog shape, so triangular like shape. Actually, I'm going to press my hands more to that front top angle of the ball. And then adjust back with the chest moving towards the legs, bum up. Now, this next business may not be for everyone because it is really wobbly, so just take care if you are trying it. What I do is I bend my knees a little and get the feet coming a little closer in towards one another. And then I'm going to try to do a three-legged down dog where I lift one leg up to the back. See if that balance is going to work for you today. No worries if you want to keep the foot down. And I'm going to do it simply one time on each side. So maybe reposition there and then get that other leg into a lift for a moment. Definitely, I'm finding one side easier than the other. Oh, good job, you guys. Yeah, let's come back up and out of that and just take a little moment. I'm going to stay at the wall here. Good. And what I'm hoping to get into next is a moment of planking here. So it really is nice when we have the ball into the wall because you'll feel a lot more stable and safe with this. And so the planking that we're going to do is on the elbows, and there's a bunch of things to try here. So I want you to know you can take breaks anytime. It might get a little tired. So elbows down on top of the ball. Body is postured in a way that the shoulders stay above the elbow line. And then we step those feet back. And you can keep your bum a little in the air if that feels better on your back. But really engage through the stomach muscles. The core is tight here. If this is feeling like plenty, then maybe you just stay. You don't need to do the next stuff with the motion. And what I'm trying to do is do mountain climbers. So I'm bringing one knee in and then stepping back. Then the other. You can go at any pace you like. Check in that you're breathing, not holding the breath. I don't know that I could even do this one if I didn't have the ball up against the wall. It might be too wobbly, right? So good, I'm going to do one more knee in each side. And then from there, I'm going to stay where I am, but again, take breaks if you need. And I'm going to do a stepping out with both feet so that the feet go wide. Still in plank. And we're going to go out, out, in. So step in, and then one at a time. Out, out, in. Still holding plank. Well, that's absolutely not fun. Are we finding that? Out, out, in. Good, let's do it. One or two more times. And it's time to rest. Good, okay. Oh, I had never done that one before. I found that hard. Maybe some of you joined me on the fatigue level with that. All right, I just have to adjust my camera again. Okay, moving into some back extensions here. Take a sip of water if you need as a little break. All right, so coming down to kneeling. And from here, we're going to go into a roll over top of the ball. And you want to get those, let's say, put it this way, the upper body into a nice sort of like hanging down and forward position here, where we roll far enough that the ball's more underneath the hips. And it feels like the feet are off the ground here, right? But find your center so that you're feeling balanced. And then we're going to get into a lift where we take both the legs into a bit of a straightening and the chest is rising up and I'm kind of up on my fingertips here. You can feel like the hands just serve as balance. The back muscles made the lift happen. Then let yourself slump and hang down. And then we rise back up, stretching those legs back and reaching forward through the crown of the head. So there's length and lower. And so with this one, as you move up and down through it, you can choose whether or not you go up to a point where the body just feels like it's straight, or you could even get more into like a bigger lift and it feels arched through the spine. And I'm going to do another last one here. And then I'm going to change things a little bit. As I lower my body down, kind of bend those elbows, let the head drop forward. I'm going to now bend both legs. And then when I stretch them out, I lift the upper body. And so it becomes like almost like a, I don't know, teeter-totter, up and down. So bending, we lower, straightening, we lift. We're still using our back extensors quite a bit here. It might be feeling fatigued. Take a break or rest if you need. Good, I'm just gonna do last two with that pattern. There, now it's time to rest for a little quick stretch break. So roll back. You could be thinking child's pose here. If the ball's with you, just have it out front, bum back towards those heels. Or if something else suits better in this moment, find something for yourself that feels like a stretch for the back. There, okay. Well, let's try switching to the side lean now. So this one, I think most of you have done it with me before. What we do is lay sideways over our ball and we reach towards the ground and the bottom leg there is bent. So it's really quite important on this that you actually get those fingers down or else you'll feel too unbalanced. And so let's take the top arm into a reach overhead. And then what's going to happen, we take this arm into the sweep and we lift that top leg and see if you can even get your upper body to lift a touch off the ball. And then lower the ribs down, the head down as we reach. And a little upper body leg lift together there. Inhale into the reach to the side lean. And then when you lift up, that's your exhale. So this one here works into the hip muscles and into the side core muscles. So the obliques a little bit and the quadratus lumborum, basically the muscles that run through the side trunk there. Let's get our last two lifts here on this side. There, good, nice, you did it. Okay, easing through that transition here. Take your time, we'll go into side two with that. There we go. Okay, adjust so that again, you can feel those fingertips connect. Top leg straight, reaching through into that side lean. That's your breath in. When you breathe out, try lifting the leg, sweeping the arm. Good. Good. See if you can fit in these last two or three for yourself. There, good work. Time to come out. Yeah, we did it. All right, new position. Let's move to lying on our backs. And as you come down, we can hold the ball in our hands. Good, okay. So as a little quick stretch intermission, we'll call it, we have our feet widened, ball above us here. And we're doing our windshield wipers. Knees go to the left, ball goes across the body to the right, and then we switch. You could even breathe with us, inhaling one side, exhaling the other. Couple more each way. Finish that, bring it back to center. We're going to try to get the ball placed between feet. So first of all, I'm just going to bend those knees in, and then I'm going to do my best with a straight leg position here. So it doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but the feet are going up, and we try to clamp onto that ball with the inner edges of the feet ankles. Let's go with hands behind the head here, belly drawing in and down. And then what we're doing is bending and then straightening. And what I want you to think about is when the legs, especially when they go up, let's exhale here. Think about the belly drawing in and down. You want to feel the core a touch. Now I'm going to come into the lift and pause, and then I'm going to take the ball into a slight angle out away from me, not very far. Keep the core engaged. And then I'm going to do this little rotation where we spin the ball. It's just like this little twist, I guess you would say, so you can keep that connection to the angle and to the ball. My ball feels like it wants to escape right now. Hopefully I don't lose it. That's it. Just a couple more. And then bend those legs, get a hold of the ball and transition it so that it's now between the knees. Actually, I should say the lower leg as well. So it stays put. Back to hands behind the head. And then what I'm doing, I'm going to call this a double crunch. I'm letting the lower body and upper body curl into a little crunch position. So the head and shoulders lift ever so slightly, and even the little tailbone end of the spine there might lift up as you curl in. Exhale when you draw in, and then inhale into your release. This is your last core one, so just doing enough really until you feel like something needs a rest. Could be the inner thigh muscles more than the core. You definitely feel that on this one. On my last one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into that little curl and pause and hold for just a couple moments. Give it a good challenge there. And do more if you need, but I'm coming out. And I'm going to just roll that ball into a position out away from me with my legs resting on top. Take a couple breaths there. Actually, with this next one, I'm going to really make sure the ball's out really far away, like so it's more underneath the foot ankle, and then bend one leg and put the foot down to the ground. And with this position, try doing a bridge. So you push down into the foot that's on the floor and the one leg on the ball and lift the bum up. Take a couple breaths here. Lower, and then do that one with a switch around, other foot to the ground. And a little moment of bridge here, lifting up. Nice job, everyone. Good work on everything. Putting both feet on top of the ball there. We're going to go into our hip stretch figure 4-like shape here. So we take maybe left ankle crossing over the right knee or past the kneecap and roll that ball in towards you as you bend your right leg, just to wherever you feel a stretch there. Doesn't have to come in as far as I'm demonstrating. Here, release your stretch and we'll switch to the other side. Holding here, let's take 3 long, smooth breaths. There we go. Okay. Now, I think from there, my next one is going to be without ball. So let's just get that out of the way there. And then from there, let's go into our spinal twist while we're still lying on the ground. So stretch out that right leg, left knee bent. You can pick up that left knee guided across the body with the right hand, maybe shifting the right hip under you as you go, and the left arm out to the side. And again, another moment to hold for a stretch here. So connecting to the breath. Okay, let's start to roll out and shift into that second side there. Slowing things down more and more here. So maybe feeling that breath start to regulate a little bit. Slowing exhales out. Releasing any tension into that upper body. Nice, okay. Come back through to resting flat on the ground there. And then we're going to go into opening both knees, or if it feels better, you can always do the one knee at a time. And so I've got that open angle position, soles of the feet coming together here. Another thing you can do is prop under the outsides of the knees with blocks or blankets or cushions. A bit more support. I'm going to rest the hands onto the abdomen here. Wiggle about through the shoulders and shoulder blades and neck so that everything feels well grounded and even. And feel free to have the eyes closed here even if you like, and connecting into some breaths that travel low down into the belly. Hopefully feeling a little bit of movement under the hands that rise and fall. There's a bit of commitment right now to relax the core muscles. Encourage that good diaphragmatic movement right now. So now I'm going to be closing those knees if you haven't already. And doing the opposite, essentially. It feels like you walk the feet to the edges of the mat and the knees knock in towards one another. Then we're going to do a quick little eagle arm stretch here. So you could see how it does with either just helping the one elbow across with the opposite hand or hooking those elbows. I think we all know our little alternative with this one. And whenever I do this one lying down, arm position. I like to let the hands fall down to rest to the forehead, chin drawing in and down. And we take a couple breaths. And then we want to switch the arms around so that the other elbow comes underneath. Find your position there. Connect back to the breath. There, release arms. Start to bring those knees in. Let's give it a little hug towards the chest. You could do a little bit of movement or just staying still with it. We're going to finish up there. So we're calling that done. You're welcome to add any other little quick movements here before you come up. If you're feeling ready, you can join me. There. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. You're all good sports about all those crazy ball moves. Thank you so much. Nice seeing you out. I'm glad you made it back on there, Linda. I'm sorry about, I don't know how long you